Hi there. Today we're going to go over the invoicing and templates within the Xero app. We're going to start with going to the drop-down menu on the top left under your business name, and we're going to whip into the settings there, and then when that pops up, into the invoice settings on the top right. Here we can make sure we've got everything showing on our invoices that we want to be shown, and that we've got a business logo loaded up as well. So just click on the options and then we edit. Right, on the left-hand side, there's a lot of things that you shouldn't need to change. Feel free to change the font, the size if you need to, but a lot of things we don't really need to change. It's all kind of set for us. In the middle column, there are things that do show on the invoices and statements, so we just need to make sure we've ticked everything that we want to be shown and unticked everything that we don't want to show on an invoice. It also down near the bottom has any payment services that we may have. This one's got PayPal attached to it. You can enter in credit cards and other options as well. On the right, we have where your logo will be. So feel free to have a play around. Where does it look best? Where did you want it? And taxes are exclusive or inclusive. Just make sure you've got the right one ticked that you want. And then your contact details. We always need to make sure they are in there. Down the bottom, this is where we need to make sure that you've got your bank account details loaded in so that anyone paying you online has those details readily available. This one's got about paying by check, which a lot of people don't do these days, so I'll skip over that bit. But it's got online payment preferred. Please use our bank account with the number or use the Pay Online Now link, and that will be people that open it up in their email system. It gets an automatic link to go to PayPal with that. What it doesn't have, and what I'd recommend putting in, is your payment terms. When do you want this bill paid by? Is it 7 days from date of invoice? Is it 20th of the month following? What are your terms and conditions? And are there anything that the client needs to know if they don't pay it on time? Are there penalties? Are there interest? If it gets sent to the debt collector, are there fees added onto their bill as well? Things like that all need to be popped in here, and they'll automatically show up on any invoice after that. Anything you do change, make sure you press the save button, otherwise you'll be doing it all over again. Of course, it's going to take a while for me. And then we're going to whip into down on the business tab and into the invoices. This is the demo one, as I said before. So their invoice reminders are always off. But we need to make sure, well, I would recommend turning them on, especially if you are sending invoices straight out of Xero. If you're using a different app, then it may not be as important, but it's really good to set something up, some reminders up, automatic, so you can kind of set and forget. We click the little button, email customers when an invoice is, and this one's got everything that's overdue, 7, 14, and 21 days. We can edit those, and it doesn't have to be overdue. It can be due in 7 days. Notice the wording changes, and you can feel free to go through and customize these words. Anything in the brackets, that's automatic. That'll come up, pull through from Xero, their names and dates, currency, anything like that. So that's all automatic. This one's got overdue. Edit what you need to and then save that. And again, if you want to change the time frames, 1 day overdue, 5 days overdue, 20 days overdue, feel free. Any of that can be edited as well. I'd also include, as these two boxes are ticked, a link to the online invoicing and to a PDF. And if anyone has an amount that they don't owe much, so anything under $1 won't get a reminder. It's up to you whether you turn this on or not. Okay, we can also add other reminders in. So we might start this one here from 7 or due in 7 days, the second one 7 days, 14 days, and then add another reminder when it's about 21 days overdue. So you can add in more reminders if needed or take them out if you've got too many. We'll just save all that, that will turn itself off again. Okay, we're also going to go through purchase orders quickly as well. So don't forget when you make purchase orders, let's see if this one's, actually I made one before. Here it is here. All right, so new purchase order made for a contact property management. And I'm pretending we are designing and printing a newsletter for them. So I've made up a purchase order for them. So we can send this to be an invoice or a bill or whatever we need it to be. So once it's up and approved, options, copy to, and I'm going to send this as an invoice. Everything explains itself. So bill, turn this purchase order into a bill to pay, purchase order for another purchase order, or invoice, charge this purchase order to a customer, and that's the one we're going to do. And then create draft. We can still edit here. If we need to edit anything, we can. It's advertising. There we go. I can't remember who it was for some oopsie daisy. Property management. There we go. They're still correct. Due date. So let's make this one 20th of the month following. Any reference that's needed, that's fine. And then you can approve this once it's all done for you. There we go. And it's got the online payment come up. If we preview that, here's how it looked like their logo, invoice, their details, who it's to, invoice number, everything else. And then this is what they had when paying by check. Please do this, or online payment preferred. Again, this one does not say when they want it paid by, it does up here, because it's got the due date on the invoice, but it doesn't have it down the bottom as well, which I'd always recommend. Rightio, when we are sending out invoices, let's go to the ones awaiting payment. We can send them out all at once just by clicking that little box, or we can select some or unselect some that we don't want to send out all at the same time. And then we would be emailing them out. Again, we've got no invoice email outs for these, so it's not really real. We're just pretending here. And again, this is what the message will say. I always include the files as an attachment and a PDF because you find some clients want one way and some clients want another. So if I send it to them both ways, then no one can complain. And it also puts the invoice number, your company name, and the contact name. So if you've got those points added into Xero in your contacts, it looks a bit better. So make sure you've got those filled out properly. And you can email those away. I would also recommend once a month, beginning of the month, to send statements. This is something that's not done automatically, but we can do an activity statement or outstanding statement. I usually do an activity, make sure your date range is correct. If you're going to the middle of the month or the different month, then you just need to change the date, update that, and again, either selecting all or unselecting what you don't need to send, or selecting the ones that you do want to send, and then email that out. And it will send statements out. And again, it will tell you if you don't have email addresses in. But we'll just cancel that. All right, easy as that. Any questions? We are at Right Way. Give us a call.